She just loved my life, and it was very distraught, heartbreaking. I was in disbelief.
The dispatcher's husband, Giancarlo Pereze, discovered texts between his wife and 6 sheriff's deputies, plus a City of Converse police officer. In December, he gave them to Internal Affairs, and an investigation was opened.
Very hard for me to read.
I can imagine. Jessica Jarvis is now divorcing a 4th sheriff's employee who is being disciplined.
Yeah. 50 Cent. 50. Part 2.
You guys know recently we've been seeing a lot of scandals coming up in law enforcement. A lot of these women, a lot of these wives, a lot of these female officers are doing strange things with other fellow police officers or guys that are on the force. And strangely enough, these men are sacrificing their careers for some subpar buns. And I really don't understand it, guys. You guys are getting suspended. You guys are losing your careers. You guys are losing your wives. It really doesn't make sense. Now, I'm not saying that police officers are above reproach, but you do have some officers who feel that they are. They feel like you can't make a mistake. And a lot of times, a lot of the incidents that do occur with police officers or in law enforcement. You guys know this number, this lucky number 7, seems to be quite popular. If you guys don't remember, I did a story on Officer Maegan Hall. Maegan Hall was the officer from out of Lavergne PD who said that she was being groomed by 7 other officers that she was dealing with. She was talking about BBCs and things like this in the text message. And guess what? Her husband decided to stay with her, strangely enough. Now, what would you guys do in this situation? Who knows? You guys might have stayed with her as well. But the fact that she said that officers were grooming her is a cop-out. I mean, come on. It was going down in Tennessee, and here it's going down in San Antonio. But let's get into the clip, guys, without further ado. I'm not going to hold you. Let's do it.
Tonight, a scandal unfolding within the Bexar County Sheriff's Office involving explicit text messages between a married dispatcher and several deputies.
Officials confirm 3 people have already been recommended for termination. Jay Avila with the News 4 I-Team says more deputies are under investigation.
According to Sheriff Javier Salazar, the employees deny having sex or doing anything inappropriate while on duty. However, 2 spouses who shared the texts with Internal Affairs and with News 4 claim the messages show otherwise. Overnight 911 dispatcher Krystle Perez has been placed on unpaid administrative leave, along with Bexar County Sheriff Sergeant Ronaldo Salinas and Deputy Juan Leal. All 3 have received notices of proposed termination.
Their conduct, apparently, during the course of the investigation was found to be egregious enough to where we would issue those proposed terminations.
Many of the texts are too explicit for us to share. Sergeant Salinas to Dispatcher Perez: I feel so hot and sexy when I'm Perez. I can feel it, all of it, and I love it. Salinas: we need another hotel day. Deputy Leal to Dispatcher Perez: I can't wait for us to be naked and us caressing each other and then kissing each other all over. Perez: expletive, yes.
She just loved my life, and it was very distraught, heartbreaking. I was in disbelief.
The dispatcher's husband, Giancarlo Perez, discovered texts between his wife and 6 sheriff's deputies, plus a City of Converse police officer. In December, he gave them to Internal Affairs, and an investigation was opened.
They use emojis to reference body parts, and they would talk about, kissing, making out, and all these, like I said, just sexual connections.
Perez took screenshots of the text from his wife's phone, and many of the timestamps are missing, so it's not clear if the texters were on duty. But in one thread on a Friday night at 10:20 p.m., Sergeant Salinas tells Dispatcher Perez, I get off at midnight, came in early.
Very hard for me to read.
I can imagine. Jessica Jarvis is now divorcing a 4th sheriff's employee who is being disciplined. Investigator Jason Jarvis received a proposed suspension of 30 days.
These are people that are supposed to be protecting us, supposed to be serving, and making sure the community is safe.
While details of the investigation remain secret, it does not appear anyone broke the law, but those disciplined allegedly violated sheriff's office policies.
Certainly the case is being taken seriously, and quite frankly, I believe it's quite possible that some people are going to lose their career as a result of this.
It is still possible more deputies could be disciplined. The employees facing suspension and termination can also appeal their punishment. Jay Avila, News 4 San Antonio.
Well, fellas, we got another case of someone in law enforcement with the magic 7. 7 guys. She's working night shift, 911 dispatcher, right? So for one, I'm gonna try to break this down the best I can. So your wife is working night shift. This is the love of your life. Obviously, he's heartbroken, Giancarlo. The love of your life is working night shift. She obviously is meeting up with different officers. She's being introduced to different people on the police force. She knows them. And somehow they're shooting her shot, or she's being flirtatious. She's entertaining them. Only 3 of them, now 4, have been caught and are looking at disciplinary action. But I'm pretty sure she's messed with all 7 of those dudes. This dude just doesn't have the proof, and they don't have the proof yet overall. But what she'll come back and say is, hey, I had kids, I'm old, I've hit the wall, I don't get the attention like I used to get from you, all these guys. Because you got to understand, it's mostly a sausage fest a lot of times at these police departments. Not to say that there aren't female officers, but you got a lot of horn dogs walking around. They see a woman on a night shift. She's lonely. She may be on social media texting and things like that. And that may be grounds, obviously, for her to be terminated if they do determine that those text messages were sent while she was on duty with the other officer. But these guys gave her what she wanted, gave her attention, things like that, clapping cheeks. And it's probably exhilarating for her to be dealing with this many police officers, that badge, a man in uniform. And she's also in a position of power because she can make some things happen. Now, what I do find questionable is the text messages that these guys were sending. The messages that they sending sound like they don't know how to talk to chicks. They don't know how to talk to chicks, and I guess she was all for it. They sounded more like the woman, so I had to listen again and say who was saying what, right? So on the text messages, one of the dudes said, I feel so hot and sexy when I'm in you. What man says that? That sounds like something a woman would say minus the in you part, right? And then she says, I can feel it, all of it, and I love it. Imagine you the husband reading this. Yeah, the husband's reading this. But anyway, that sounds like something a woman would say. My man said, we need another hotel day. Why can't we just get in the cruiser while you're at it, bro? I mean, come on, man. Anyway, let's get back to it. I can't wait for us to be naked and us caressing each other, then kissing each other all over. What man says this to a woman? That sounds like a woman. That's why when I initially saw this, I'm thinking it's got to be a woman saying this, but no. And she's responding, fuck yes, bro. And then the husband, man, Giancarlo, bro, you had 7 men that you know of that were diving in your wife. And then one of the wives found out and you decided to drop a dime on your wife. You're that angry. Man, you could have used this. And I know a lot of simps that are watching this. GR, he should have dropped a dime. He should have sent all the messages to Internal Affairs to get her ass fired. And then he's up on there sitting up. She did me wrong. She was the love of my life. How could she? on TV. Now you're on national television, international television, whatever have you. And the wife, understandably, she's crying. These are both scorned people, right? But you guys are all for it. Yeah, hold her accountable. Hold her accountable. There's ways to do things, guys. I'm not going to say what I would have done with those messages, but my man was upset. I guarantee he's still going to stay with her. He hasn't said anything about filing for divorce, right? And I mean, it is what it is, guys. These things are going to continue to happen. People, human beings are going to be human beings. Your wife, whatever, just like the other girl, Maegan Hall. Her husband stayed with her. This guy, Giancarlo, he's obviously a simp by looking at him getting on national television talking about this. So he's going to stay with her too. Regardless of all 7 of those dudes diving in, doing all these strange things to his old lady. You can never keep a woman like this. She's for the streets, obviously. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this whole story. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit me up on Linktree to book a one-on-one with yours truly. Purchase all my books, merch, t-shirts. Helps to support the channel. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. With that being said, much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next video that's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. This is your favorite everything. Listen, this is wisdom. I'm out of here. Peace.
Yeah. 50 Cent.
50. Part 2.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
Can't forget Tony.
50.